Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Obviously this is part one of my what I've read for the month of May, the book edition. Already I've posted the comic edition of what I've read this month, as well as what I want to read in June, but here is the books I've read. Now, I have read a lot of books this month. Bella might be coming in here if you can hear her. I read 16 books this month because I went through about 2 or 3 readathons this month. So I have a lot to go through. First off, and always the ebooks will be over there. I did it. I read the Silmarillion. I am so freaking happy I finally finished that book. It's actually been a lifelong goal of mine to read the Silmarillion. Bella, you're breathing really, really loud. But yeah, it's been a lifelong goal of mine to read that. Obviously, it's an amazing insight into Middle-earth, how it was created, all kinds of stuff pertaining to how it was created, and even a little bit into the story of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. It is a very, very, very tough read. It's not for everyone. I would say it's a lot harder than actually reading Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, honestly. I do need to read it a couple more times before I give a full review on it. I do want to give a review just on the Silmarillion, but I do need to read it a few more times and get more details from it and fully grasp what it's about before I could do one. I did give it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I actually shelved it to 2 other shelves, my favorite shelf and my reread always shelf, which pretty much only has the Lord of the Rings on it, I think. But yeah, that was the first book I read this month. And it was the first book I finished. After that, I read Sujud Storm, which is the second book in the Grisha trilogy. I really liked it. It was a good book. Once I read it, I was very glad that I bought all 3 of them together because I immediately wanted to jump into the third book. Even though I didn't, I was glad that I had that option to do so. Because there was a huge cliffhanger in the second book, and I'm like, come on, I need to read the third one immediately. But again, I didn't. I ended up finishing some other books first, but I did read it, and so that's coming up. But I gave that a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. After that, I actually finished reading Nightshade by Andrea Kramer. This was one of the books that had been on my TBRs for like each TBR video I've done, for monthly wrap-ups. So I finally finished this. It was a good introduction into the series. You learned all about the Guardians and the Keepers and the Searchers, which are the 3 main classes of people in this. It was a little slow to start off with, but it does pick up. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It was pretty good. I read all 3 of the books for this series this month, so, well, the 3 that I had, I actually found out some information after I finished the 3rd book, which I will talk about after, when I hit that book. After that, I read The Giver by Lois Lowry. Like, yeah, picture, Kate? Picture? I have ADHD when it comes to these videos. I really loved that book. And after reading it, I did look into the other books in the series, and obviously, if you know of the series, it's different characters in each book. But I really hope they bring back Jonas and Baby Gabe into the series, because I just love how it was, but the ending kind of like cuts it off, and it's like, I want to know what happened to them. So I did give this a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I will definitely read the other books when I get to them. They're not top priority for me right now, though. And after that, I read Burned, and again, I did this with my 2 reads, I think, and it was either my 2 read or one of the videos I just was not prepared for, and yeah, but I read Burned by Amber Callan. This one was a very mature book. It's not for everyone. It has a lot of sex in it, so I suggest that if you are underage, you do not read this book. I do not, even though I did it, I cannot sit here and condone underage children reading mature books unless you have permission from your parents. I know me at 15 and 16, I was allowed to, so you might be allowed to, but it's all up to your parents, you guys. Even at 15, 16, 17, you gotta listen to your parents. You're not an adult yet. There was a little too much adult times for me in this. For it being such a short book. It was very short, and there was just too much in it for such a short video. I did like the plot, especially the whole, how the lead character, Kala, can shapeshift into a dragon. So, sorry you guys, I explained this in every video, my nose. But I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. But, like I said, a little too much adult time in it. After that, I read A March of Kings by... I can't see the name on this. Morgan Rice. This one, I really liked it. The beginning was a bit sad, but the rest of the book made up for it. I actually have a majority of the series on my Kindle already. This was more of a reread for me so that I could officially give it a rating. It did leave it at a cliffhanger, which I do like for series books, because it makes you want to get the next one and find out what happened. I do like cliffhangers sometimes. When it's a book that isn't going to have a sequel, I don't like cliffhangers. I hate cliffhangers at that point. It's like, come on. Either finish the book off well, or make a sequel. But I did give this a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I will read the rest of them, reread the rest of them eventually. Again, not a top priority right now. I have so many other books that I need to read. But that is going to do it for this part in this video. I will see you guys all in part 2. Make sure to give this a huge thumbs up and check my links down below. Bye, guys!